students, you are welcome to Facilitation or Welcome Video on ISL271. Our topic of discussion for today will center around the election of the fourth Khalifa, who was Ali ibn Abi Talib. After the demise of Usman ibn Affan, Ali ibn Abi Talib became the fourth Khalifa. So we want to look at his election and subsequent assumption of office as the fourth Khalifa. Then we will also look at some of the policies put in place by Ali during his regime as the Khalifa. Then we will end today's lecture with looking at the Battle of the Camel. The Battle of the Camel was also fought during the reign of Ali ibn Abi Talib. So these are the contents of our discussion for today. So I am Professor Abdulrahim Adejola Mustafa. As usual, you will enjoy today's lecture as well. You are welcome.
Yes, let's go on now. This is my email address, amustafa@noun.edu.ng. So you are welcome. If you have any information to pass to me, just use that email address and it will get to me, and you will definitely get a feedback. The intended learning outcome, that is what we expect you to have acquired at the end of today's lesson, is that you should be able to discuss the election of Ali as the fourth Khalifa in Islam. Then we also expect that you should be able to discuss some of the policies put in place by Ali during his regime as the Khalifa. Then you will also be expected to list and mention some of the principal actors in the war or in the crisis that arose during the regime of Ali. Finally, we will look at the Battle of the Camel. So we expect you to be able to explain about the Battle of Camel that was fought in 656 CE. Then you remember that the third Khalifa, Usman ibn Affan, spent 12 years as the Khalifa. And we told you that during the first 6 years of his regime, there were a lot of achievements. There were a lot of development, because the first 6 years of his reign were very peaceful. So there was no crisis whatsoever. So he achieved a lot. But during the second half of his regime, that is during the second 6 years, the period was characterized with a lot of crisis. What led to that was, as you have learnt earlier, is that some people accused Usman ibn Affan for favoritism and nepotism, that he favored his household, members of his household, by giving them some vital positions. So they now ganged up against him and decided to wage war against him. And it was because of that he was assassinated. So there was a mutiny, there was a coup against him, and the coup plotters, who were called the mutineers, they staged that war and killed Khalifa Usman. So now these people, the mutineers, that is the coup plotters, after the demise of Usman, they stayed in power. They were in control of the Muslim Ummah for few days, after which they now decided to look for somebody who will occupy the position. So they now they did not want all the provinces to disintegrate, all the regions under Muslim community. They didn't want it to remain uncontrolled. So therefore they decided to put a Khalifa there, and they preferred Ali ibn Abi Talib to be the Khalifa. So Ali ibn Abi Talib, when he was informed, he did not even want to take the position, but after much persuasion, he reluctantly accepted to be the Khalifa. So on the 23rd of June 656 CE, many people swore the oath of allegiance to him as the fourth Khalifa in Islam. So there were some policies put in place during his regime. He decided to follow the footsteps of Abu Bakr and Umar, who were the earlier Khalifa before him. Some of the policies those people put in place, he too followed them. He did not cancel them. For instance, the principle of Baitul Mal. Baitul Mal, that is, Baitul means house and Al-Mal means wealth of money or property. So that is the public treasury, which can be equivalent to our central bank of today. So the central bank has been put in place by the previous regime. So when Ali became the Khalifa, he did not stop that, and he maintained it. So he was able to recollect all the stolen properties from the public treasury. He recollected them and put them back in the public treasury. So that was one of the policies he left behind. So he was ready to remove all the governors against whom the people had grievances. You know, we have different provinces with governors, like states, as we have states today. So we have governors in states. So in some of the provinces, in some of the states, then the people were not satisfied with their respective governors, so they lodged complaint against their governors, and Ali was able to remove some of the governors with whom people were not satisfied. So he reshuffled the government, he replaced some of these people and sacked some of them. So and some people accepted, some of the governors accepted this new reorganization, while Muawiyah, who was the governor of Syria, did not accept. He was not satisfied. So he was the governor of Syria, Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan. That is his full name, Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan. So he was the governor of Syria, appointed during the time of Uthman ibn Affan. So when Ali came, Ali decided to reshuffle the government because people were not satisfied with some of these governors. But Muawiyah was not satisfied with that policy. So his house, because he was from Umayyad family, so his family did everything to wage war against Usman, and under the pretense that they wanted against Ali, they wanted Ali to produce the murderers of Usman, those who killed Usman. They said Ali should immediately fish them out and punish them. So Ali, though he was not satisfied with the murder of Usman, with the killing of Usman, but he didn't take immediate action against those who killed him. So, and that was the reason why some people now capitalized on that to wage war against Ali. So especially Tolihat and Zubair. So they were part of the principal actors that waged war against Ali, that did not give Ali rest of mind. So they said immediately he assumed power, they said he must fish out those who killed Usman. So because Ali wanted to settle down, he said they should give him time to settle down properly before he took any action. So but Muawiyah and his people were not satisfied with this, and they waged war against Ali himself. And the war was led by Tolihat and Zubair. So this one now brought about unnecessary war or disaffection among the Muslims. So they capitalized on that to wage war against Ali, and this led to another serious crisis, which led to the killings of many Muslims. So now there was a battle that arose as a result of that, and the title did Battle of the Camel. And why was it named the Battle of Camel? It was named so because Aisha, who was one of the wives of Prophet Muhammad, rode on a camel to the war. So he rode on a camel, and that was why the battle was titled the Battle of Camel. So Khalifa Ali did everything humanly possible to avoid the war. He didn't want the war to come up at all, and he sued for peace. He organized for peace settlement, for peaceful settlement. But these people, because they had hidden agenda, the Tolihat and the rest, and the Umayyad and the Muawiyah people, so they were not satisfied with all the moves made by Ali. So they capitalized that Ali should fish out those who kill Usman and punish them. So Because Ali could not do that on time, so they were waging war against Ali. And at last, there was a serious war that took place. And in the war, during the war, both Talha and Zubair, who were principal actors, were also killed during the war. So Aisha was also taken hostage in the first instance, but Khalifa Ali treated her very, very diligently. So, and being the wife of the Prophet, he didn't want to maltreat her. After the battle, because Aisha was in support of those people who said the killers of Usman should be fished out immediately. So he was in support of those people. That was why he followed them to the war. So after the battle, Ali settled in Kufa. That was the name of a town. So that was where he settled and established authority in Basra. He settled in Kufa, then he made Basra the head of his government. I mean, the capital of his government. So in this battle, about 10,000 Muslims on both sides. You know, these were two Muslim sides now that waged war against each other. So about 10,000 people lost their lives during the battle. So Ali, after the battle, took pledge of loyalty from the people. So the people, after having won the battle, so the people of Basra now came to pledge loyalty to Ali. Then Ali now appointed Abdullah ibn Abbas as the governor of Basra. So, so far, that has been the summary of what we want you to know from this lesson. So, to summarize it briefly, we have discussed Ali's election as the fourth Khalifa. We told you he was the fourth Khalifa who was appointed and elected after the demise of Usman ibn Ali. Then we looked at some of the policies he put in place, and specifically we told you that he followed the footsteps of his predecessors and maintained the policy of Baitul Mal, which was the public treasury, and he was able to recollect back all the stolen properties that belonged to the Muslim Ummah. He brought them back and put in the public treasury, that is in the central bank. So we also mentioned Talhat and Zubair as part of the principal actors that participated in some of the wars fought during the period of Ali ibn Abi Talib. And finally, we also discussed the Battle of Camel, which was named the Battle of Camel because Aisha, the wife of the Prophet, rode on a camel to the war. So that is the summary of our lesson for today. I hope you have enjoyed what we have presented, and if so, let us meet again during the next class. Thank you for listening.